Hello learners, I welcome you all to yet another module which is based on the basic training on dairy farming. The main purpose of introducing this module in this mode is to explore how the production of milk and milk products of cattle can create livelihood for those who want to set up their own farm and enterprise. Here we will introduce the learner to basic dairy husbandry skills essential for running a dairy farm and make it as profitable as possible. It will also put some lights on the potential of dairy industry as a mode of partial resolution to the unemployment problem through a generation of self-employment. We hope after completing this module, participants are expected to able to enhance knowledge and skill in the use of advanced technology in dairy farming and health management, increase productivity in dairy farming, running a dairy farm as a business. Apart from being an important sector globally, dairy is equally important developing economics like India for providing nutrient support, reducing rural poverty, inequality, ensuring food security for millions of rural households, and enhancing economic growth, particularly in rural areas. There is a tremendous scope or potential for increasing the milk production through profitable dairy farming. In traditional animal husbandry, mostly the rural families keep and rear cow as their traditional practice from which they expect a good return to the pool of their annual family budget and also fulfill their protein requirement. But because of lack of scientific inputs into this practice, they fail to earn a satisfactory income from the business in most instances, or even they are face some huge losses in some instances. So it is the need of hour to make a pool of improved crossbred pure line stock and their proper scientific management in our country to make dairy business a profitable one. Dairy beach. Breeding stock is very critical to ensure higher profits, and therefore its proper selection is very important. First, prudent decision on the type of breed to be raised has to be taken based on its source and market demand. Secondly, breeding stock within the breed is to be selected preferably on individual merit. It is always better to select animals from a herd that has adapted itself in the area and is well known for its productivity. So there are so many breeds in our country. The breed for milk breed, prominently Sahiwal. The Sahiwal breed mostly found in Punjab, Haryana, UP, Delhi, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh. The milk yield under village condition is 5 liters per day, but under commercial farm it is 7 liters per day. The fat content varying from 4 to 4.5%. Can be crossbred with Jersey or Friesian. Second important breed is Red Sindhi, mainly available in Punjab, Haryana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Orissa. Milk yield under village condition 4 liters per day and other commercial farm 6 liters per day. Fat content of Red Sindhi measures 4 to 4.5%. There are few exotic breeds in our country. The prominent one is Jersey. The Jersey dairy milk yield is to be 20 liters and for a crossbred it is 8 liters. The fat content is 4.84%. The breed has assimilated well, especially in the hot and humid areas, requires less feed and care than Holstein Friesian, has highest level of butter fat of all cow. The second exotic breed is Holstein Friesian. This is the highest milk producing breed. A pure breed gives 25 liters of milk per day, whereas a crossbreed HF Holstein Friesian cow gives 10 to 15 liters per day. It needs better care and feeding than Indian breeds. The fat content is 3.5%. But important point is that exotic or crossbred will only produce highly if they are of good type, get a lot good food and green grasses, clean water, are good health and have no mastitis, a disease of cattle. There are many buffalo breeds in our country, namely they are Murrah, Surti, Nagpuri and Godavari. After making a decision for dairy farming, the most important matter is the selection of site. The type of shelter or housing provided to lactating animals determine the total milk production. There is a need to design all-weather cost-effective shelters for the animals. Animal is kept in house for two reasons. What are they? To provide shelter and comfort to animals. And second one is helps in controlling feeding during gestation. The following points should be taken into consideration before constructing a shelter for the dairy animals. What are the points? It should provide sufficient space for milking, feeding and cleaning operation. The roof should be 3 to 4 meter high. The cattle shed should be well ventilated. The floor should be well sloped for proper drainage of excreta. The corners in mangers, troughs, drains, wall should be rounded for easy cleaning. Maintain sanitary condition around the shed. Now you can see the floor space requirement of dairy animals. We have a slide you can see here. Calf housing. The calf housing facilities should be comfortable for the calf and convenient for the farmer. General requirements include dry and well ventilated pens with ample of bedding and isolation from older animals. Wean calves can be moved to calf grow out facilities such as outside pens with overhead shelter. The move can be made when the calves are as young as 4 months of age or as old as 6 months of age. The calves can be placed in groups of up to 20 calves each. The age and height spread should not be more than 2 months and 50 kg respectively. The most important part is feed management of a dairy farm. So we have different type of feed. The first I would like to speak on calf starter. The rumen development takes place rapidly between 4 and 8 weeks of age. Starters are more important than forages for rumen development. Grain starter should be offered as early as 4 days after birth. Calves should be encouraged to consume starter by placing a small amount in the bottom of the bucket from which the liquid diet is fed or hand feeding small amounts. Starter intake usually become measurable between 7 and 14 days of age. Calf starter should be high quality, fresh and palatable. Once the calf is grown and ready to take concentrated feed, it has to be fed with properly balanced concentrated diet to ensure growth, development and early sexual maturity. Dairy cows giving milk up to 2.5 liters per day should be provided with 1.5 kg of concentrate, 10 kg of green fodder and 1.5 kg of paddy straw or hay. The dairy cow giving more than 2.5 liter of milk per day, for every 2.5 kg of additional milk extra, 1 kg concentrate to be provided. If there is plenty of green fodder, then provide 30 kg of green fodder per day per cow according to reduce the feed cost. Crush the grain before feeding to the animals. The oil cakes should be flaky and crumbly. Moisten the concentrated mixture before feeding. Green fodder is very important for cattle farming. The farmers can cultivate green fodders like maize, paragas, napier, guinea, oat, coffee, etc. to feed their animals. The dry fooders like paddy straw, maize straw, etc. and hay of cereal fooders can be fed to the animals. Now coming to management of breeding, the heifers and the dairy cows should conceive in appropriate time for better production. Heifers should attain maturity at 15 to 18 months of age, exhibit heat symptoms at every 20 days after attainment of puberty. Properly maintained dairy cows exhibit heat at about 45 to 60 days after calving. The advent of artificial insemination (AI) has considerably enhanced the scope of propagating the superior germplasm of domesticated animals. Early use of it was considered as a means of controlling venereal disease and utilizing bulls unable to mate successfully. For proper breeding management, selection of dairy cow is very important. The most important feature to look are the udder. The udder should be well attached to the abdomen. Teeth should be uniform in size and cylindrical, with milk from each teeth. The animal should be attractive with feminine look. It should have well-shaped body. It should have bright eyes with lean neck. Select the animal from a reliable breeder or from nearest livestock market. Take the help of veterinary or animal husbandry officer to select the good cow. Animals of their second or third lactation should be selected. Estrus cycle in cow may ranges from 18 to 24 days. Heat behavior lasts for 18 to 24 hours. Continuous bellowing, restless, licking, standing to be mounted, the cow's vulva appear moist, red and more swollen than usual with clear mucus discharge are the signs of heat. In order to detect heat signs, the animals to be observed daily, morning and evening as well as at the time of feeding and watering. Pregnancy diagnosis. The date of AI, that means artificial insemination or natural service, is to be recorded. After 20 days of insemination, the animals are to be observed for any estrus behavior. If there is no estrus after service, the animal are to be checked for pregnancy after 2 to 3 months from the date of service. Non-pregnant animals are to be inseminated in the next estrus. Animals which are not conceived after 3 insemination are to be examined and treated accordingly by a veterinarian. Gestation period is 280 to 285 days in cows. Timing of insemination is very crucial. A cow seen on heat in the morning and inseminated in the evening. A cow seen on heat in the evening, you inseminated in the next morning. This is called AM/PM thumb rule. The care and management of heifer. Monitor weight, height and body condition score of a heifer regularly. Maintain sound nutritional management for adequate growth. Maintain strategic deworming program. Care of pregnant cows. Provide 1 kg extra concentrate during first trimester of gestation. Feed laxative about 3 to 5 days before and after calving. Supplement with mineral mixture to prevent milk fever. Pregnant cow always keep separate from the herd. Signs of calving. Swelling of the vulva, distension of the teeth and udder, restlessness and kicking at the belly. These are the common signs before calving. If delivery takes longer time, assistance from veterinary may be required. Care after calving, that is 7 days postpartum. Calving is a natural process. Heifer or cow usually needs no help. Natural expulsion of the fetal membrane should occur 3 to 8 hours after calving, or you may wait up to 12 hours. If the fetal membrane is retained over 12 to 20 hours after calving, approach veterinary doctor for help. Milk out the colostrum and feed to the calf as soon as possible. Remove the expelled fetal membrane from the calving area or pen floor. Clean the pen and the rearing area of the dam to reduce risk of infection by flies. Care of calf jumps after calving. The immediate newborn calf should be cleaned with dry towel or dry hay. Remove mucus from the nose and mouth to assist breathing. If required, hold up the rear legs of the calf to hang down for emptying any water in the lungs or mouth or nose. Cut the navel cord, keeping 2 or 3 inches from the stalk. Dip the navel in tincture of iodine to prevent local infection. A newborn calf should get the first milk of its dam, namely colostrum, within 2 hours of its birth. Colostrum is rich in protein, fat, minerals, vitamins, and carries mineral antibodies in the form of gamma globulins. Identification of calf is very necessary if records are kept for scientific breeding and production. Identification of calf is an important managerial tool that guarantees accuracy of head dates, breeding dates, calving dates, and monthly milk weight. Every calf should be identified at birth with a permanent visible herd number. Coming to health management. General management in a dairy farm, health status, and animal welfare are mainly influenced by housing condition, feeding, hygienic measure, infections, breeding, and selection management. A male animal should be regularly inspected and properly health record should be maintained. Milk production is severely affected by diseases like mastitis, hemorrhagic septicemia, foot and mouth disease, FMD, and therefore vaccination, deworming, and preventive health care at the right time reduce the incidence of diseases and ensures increased profit. Monitoring reproductive, that means head detection, calving interval, retained placenta, abnormal vaginal discharge, etc., should be properly done. Careful detection of heat and insemination, early pregnancy diagnosis further improves the reproductive efficiency of high-yielding animals. The common diseases of cows and their prevention and cure. One of the most important diseases is scurvy, that means diarrhea. Scurvy or neonatal diarrhea is the primary cause of death in unweaned calves. Infectious agents are bacteria, viruses, or protozoa, or improper nutritional diarrhea. Predisposing factors: inadequate intake of colostrum, using milk with high bacterial count, feeding milk or milk products at irregular time or irregular amounts, feeding poor quality milk replacer, especially calves less than 3 weeks of age, poor sanitation of feeding equipment, keeping calves in dirty pens or exposed to scoring calves. These are the predisposing factors of diarrhea. Another important disease of cattle is mastitis. What is mastitis? Mastitis is the inflammation of cow's udder. Mastitis is a major cause of poor milk quality and low yield. It is the biggest cause of loss of dairy farmers. Mastitis may show different ways. Clinical mastitis. How do you know that this is clinical mastitis? The milk is abnormal, watery, with clots or blood flecks, bad smell. There may be swelling, heat redness, and pain of the udder, or the udder may be look normal. In subclinical mastitis, that is hidden mastitis, milk looks normal but yield is reduced. The milk goes off quickly. The cow can infect other cows. Prevention is very important. How you will prevent this disease? Do not pull and stay still. For this, whole hand milking is best. Dip all teeth in a proper disinfectant after milking. Maintain proper milking hygiene. Treat all visible cases of mastitis with antibiotics. Use an antibiotic treatment in each quarter when cows are dry. This is called dry cow therapy. Hemorrhagic septicemia is another important disease. This is an acute bacterial disease of cattle which is usually occurs during monsoon. What are the symptoms of hemorrhagic septicemia? High temperature, sudden decrease in milk, ill. Severe of edema of the throat region, difficulty in breathing, animal produce a grunting sound. Animal usually dies within 1 to 2 days of showing symptoms. For proper healthcare management or prevention of many diseases, you have to follow a vaccination schedule. Here we have a slide of 3 different diseases and a vaccination schedule and doses and at what age we should administer and what is the route of the and when to give. For optimum benefits of vaccination, deworm the animals at least 15 days before vaccination. Foot and mouth disease, FMD. FMD is an acute, infectious and highly contagious viral disease of cloven-footed animals. The disease can be very easily transmitted to other animals by direct contact and eating contaminated food and water. What are the symptoms? The affected animals go off fed. The body temperature rise to 103 to 104 degree Fahrenheit. The animals will make smacking sound and are unwell open their mouth. On examination, the vesicles can be found on the tongue and buccal mucosa. Pregnant animals may abort. Secondary bacterial infection like mastitis and illness may occur. What are the control measures? Immediate quarantine measures like isolation or confinement of the affected animal. The mouth and feet of the diseased animal should be washed with potassium permanganate. Follow the vaccination schedule. Vaccinated against FMD is very necessary. Biosecurity. What do you mean by biosecurity? Biosecurity practices should be general enough to prevent transmission of any pathogens and specific enough to address particular disease threats. Have only one entrance and exit at your farm. Limit non-essential traffic on the farm. Allow only clean and disinfected vehicles on your property. Provide disposable footwear to your worker. Keep other animals and strangers off the property. Sudden death of lactating animals and shortage of family labor, high price of fodder, and limited farm income were perceived as the most important risks in this industry. Use of veterinary service, parasite control, and loan from banks or financial institution. Utilization, that means loan utilization, were perceived as the most important strategies for managing risk. As a dairy farmer, you must take steps to make sure your business minimizes its impact on the surroundings environment and community. You are required to reuse byproducts in ways that will not harm the environment. Construct good surface drainage that pose to no risk of runoff to water sources. Odor generated from dairy farm is usually by decomposing manure and waste food. Odor management involves appropriate shed design, effective collection, and disposable system. Dairy farm as a business. What do you mean by business? Simply, business is an economic activity where products and services are exchanged between parties. Gaining profit from business, it requires some amount of investment. On the other hand, the sufficient consumers or customers for making marketing of products. Livestock farming as a business is a threefold process: livestock farm management, production of livestock products, and processing and marketing of the produces. Any individual or farmer wish to indulge in livestock farming business should work from some days with someone who is experienced enough in the field of livestock farming business. The period should be utilized in learning minutes of farm management and production, processing of farm products, marketing and management of unsold products, potential loss, and its marginal stages. After this exposure, but before indulging in the actual livestock farming business, one should also study about the market demand of produces, type of produces, the target consumers or customers and their preferences. Generally, milk consumers are not satisfied with present level of milk quality and hygiene. To make sure that raw milk remains fresh for a longer time, you need to practice good hygiene during milking and when handling the milk afterwards. It is your responsibility to ensure good products of milk and protect the health of consumers. Producing clean and good quality milk will keep your consumers happy and improve your income. Now I would like to conclude my speech, and I am hopeful of the fact that my words and advice will be a significant help to many. I encourage you all to open up dairy units, add value addition to raw materials by making milk products, for example paneer, dahi, etc., and maintain them to be as effective as profitable. Thank you.
Dear learners, hope you like this module. If you would like to start your own business of dairy farming, pig farming, goat farming, and poultry farming, you may approach the following government institutes, organizations, and agencies for information regarding training as well as for securing some loan or funding to start your business. First, we must refer to the National Livestock Mission. National Livestock Mission intends to achieve the objectives of employment generation through entrepreneurship development in small, ruminant, poultry or piggery sector and fodder sector, increase of per animal productivity through breed improvement, increase in the production of meat, egg, goat milk, wool, fodder, etc. Under the Entrepreneurship Development and Employment Generation Scheme, the government provides financial assistance to the eligible entrepreneurs. Next, we should refer to RSETI, means Rural State Employment Training Institute. Rural State Self-Employment Training Institutes is an initiative of the Ministry of Rural Development, having dedicated infrastructure in each district in the different states of India, and this institute impart training and skill upgradation programs for the youths geared towards entrepreneurship development. Third, we can refer to Mudra Loan. Mudra Loan is offered under the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. Mudra stands for Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency. Under this scheme, borrowers can avail business loans ranging from 50,000 to 10 lakhs on the basis of the Sishu, Kishore and Tarun categories. In a state like Assam, we have the Directorate of Extension Education under the Agricultural University, and this directorate is located at Khanapara, Guwahati, and it provides training on dairy, poultry, pig farming, etc. Lastly, we have to refer to what we may call MANAGE. MANAGE was established in 1987 as the National Center for Management of Agricultural Extension in Hyderabad by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. In recognition of its importance and expansion of activities all over the country, its status was later elevated to that of a national institute in 1992, and it was rechristened to its present name, that is National Institute of Agricultural Extension Management. MANAGE offers its services in the following 5 streams: management training, consultancy, management education, research, information services, etc. I hope this information will obviously help you in case you need some ideas regarding whom to approach for information on training, loan, etc. Thank you for watching this module. See you again. Till then, goodbye.